Tonight, the 2019 season begins for the Detroit Lions as new faces join the team, while a solid veteran core returns as well. A brand new optimism is born. It's a fresh beginning, and the Lions look forward to bringing back the roar to Ford Field next. Well, Matt Patricia will never forget his first head coaching victory. It came here at Ford Field against his old club. Marvin Jones Jr. won a couple of touchdown passes for Stafford as they won the ball game 26-10. Then the last 3 days renewing old acquaintances in shared practices in Allen Park. And tonight, a little bit more on the line as the preseason opens for both these squads as they take on the Super Bowl champions here tonight in Detroit. Good evening, everybody. I'm Fred McLeod. Happy to be back in the Motor City along with Chris Spielman. I know he is too, of course, as we look forward to a really, I don't want to say a revamped football team, but certainly injected with life. And I know you're pretty optimistic, aren't you?
Well, ever since I've been doing the preseason, going back about 3 or 4 years, this is the first year that I feel really optimistic about their chances. I do think they have a 10-win season. I do think they're a playoff team. And the simple reason why, Fred, is because of the roster. Let's start with the offense. You take first that guy, a healthy Marvin Jones Jr., a great red zone threat, deep threat, a #1 wide receiver. Then guess who else is coming along? Right there, Kenny Golladay, a guy that's emerging. I know some people love him, some people hate him. I'm the guy that love him. Then, of course, Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon averaged 5.4 yards a carry. And the thing that Matthew Stafford has with this offense is something that he didn't have before as a rushing game, and you can see how important those big three are to this offense and for them to be productive.
And you know, with new offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell, he'll rely a lot more on the running game than in past years, which certainly has got to open up the rest of the offense. All right, what about defensively? What's catching your eye?
Well, much like offensive football, with defense, everything starts up front, and it starts with the defensive line. You look at the addition of Trey Flowers. One thing to note is 36 quarterback pressures. People often judge defensive linemen by how many sacks. Quarterback pressures cause mistakes and turnovers. And when you add Damon Harrison, look at the difference. They averaged 92.5 yards per game when he came over. Before that, they were giving up 132 yards a game. When you have Damon Harrison in there, not only does he help that whole defensive line, but Jared Davis played his best football when Damon Harrison came back. And now we'll see tonight guys that want to be part of that snack pack, as they like to call them.
And as you said, when you have big pants in front of you, it makes your life easier, doesn't it?
The bigger the pants in front of a linebacker, the better I look. If it's a small guy, the worse I look.
He's tightening his belt, folks, for the next couple of hours here as we get set for the opener on the preseason here on the Lions Football Network. And, oh, yeah, Matthew Stafford, can't forget about him, as the future certainly looks bright. Lions football is brought to you by Gatorade. Hashtag win from within. By Ford Trucks, the official trucks of the NFL and the Detroit Lions. And by Priority Health. Think smart. Live smart. Down in the iron is both clubs getting set for a long 16-game grind, but 4 preseason games first. Let's welcome in the third member of our crew, Tori Petrie, who has taken a lot of notes as the Lions and, of course, the Patriots were practicing this week. Hey, Tori.
Thank you so much, Fred. Yeah, with that new offensive coordinator, Matt Patricia told us one of the biggest reasons he wanted to have joint practice was to see his new offense up against an already established veteran defense. An important aspect of that is situational football. Because of the carryover from Patricia's time in New England, Lions and Patriots practices were structured nearly identical. So for Patricia, it was so easy to communicate to Bill Belichick what situations he wanted to put his offense in. To the untrained eye, it might have looked like in practice that the Patriots were having some success, but a lot of it was designed that way. It's how you respond after an incompletion, after a sack, and at the end of the day, Patricia said he was actually very satisfied with how his offense operated in those designed situations. Fred?
All right, Troy, thanks a lot. As we get the coin toss here, Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford out there, along with Don Muhlbach. So it looks like the Lions will receive.
Detroit will receive the ball on this end of the field. Good luck, guys.
Question is, will we see much of Matthew Stafford or Tom Brady tonight? That will unfold here. But nonetheless, certainly opportunities, Chris, abound for players on both squads trying to earn spots, not only as starters, but just earning spots on the roster.
Well, you talk about the benefit of joint practices, and coaches get a lot of benefit from that, and your number ones get a lot of benefit from working against the opponent's number ones. Now's the time to show out. As a rookie, you're going to see how you respond. The coaches will watch the response of rookies in their first game action. You can never simulate a game speed or game action, even though it's preseason in practice. So I'm excited to see the young guys play. TJ Hawkinson, Jelani Tabai, line them up. Let's go.
You're excited to watch video football.
Yeah, there we go.
Who are you kidding? Remember, they met here in the third week of the season. Kerryon Johnson broke a 70-game drought of 100-yard rushers for the Lions. He had over 100 that game, and then there's the big pitch. Stafford to Marvin Jones Jr. also threw a short one to Kenny Galladay as the Lions dominated time of possession that night. Darius Slay picked one off, and they prevailed 26-10 as they were able to get their first win of the season. And again, for Coach Patricia, his first victory as it came against his ultimate mentor, Bill Belichick. So it'll be fun to see what transpires. We'll go through a lot of stories in the broadcast. We'll be joined by TJ Lang, the ex-Lion, and of course Eastern Michigan Eagle. He'll join us as well. So let's tee it up here as both squads will be missing quite a few regulars and starters because of injuries. We'll get into those missing in action here tonight. Jamal Agnew, healthy after missing significant time last year. He'll be back returning the kick, which he did so well 2 years ago that got him to the Pro Bowl. High arcing kick, and the preseason is underway. A yard deep. Here comes Agnew. Broke one tackle and snowed under about the 20-yard line. So the Lions will go to work with Tom Savage under center. Savage, a newcomer, one of 19 additions to this ball club as an unrestricted free agent. Started out at Rutgers, finished up at Pittsburgh, has a big arm, no question about that. Started 9 games with the Houston Texans, as you see the numbers there. We'll see the Texans, of course, next week here in Lions Football Network. All spotted exactly at the 19-yard line. Ball given off to C.J. Anderson, another acquiree during the offseason. And I know you like C.J. Anderson.
Well, I do. I looked at it, and I don't think the Rams get to the Super Bowl without the addition of C.J. Anderson. He was that important. You take a look at the offensive line. Kenny Wiggins, Glasgow, Frank Ragnow back at center, where I think he'll be more of addition and more comfortable and a better player. Had a good rookie year last year, but he's at his natural position this year.
And those starting lineups brought to you by Ford. Second down. Anderson again. Tough runner. Really strong. Churning those legs. Joanne Williams on the stop. One of their rookies. Second-round pick out of Vanderbilt. They really like his upside. Patriots are really stacked in the secondary with veterans. Of course, have Super Bowl rings, and they really don't have a defensive coordinator, so Bill Belichick is going to serve as the de facto DC.
I'd say even though they had a defensive coordinator, Bill Belichick always served as a de facto DC.
That was Brian Flores, who moved on to Miami as their head coach. Savage with time. Throws caught across the 40-yard line, out of bounds. Brandon Powell, remember, had 18 grabs a year ago in the preseason. That earned him a spot on the ball club, and he picks up where he left off. He is fast.
You talk about where's competition to make this ball club. Brandon Powell was a guy that had a great preseason, and he's able to make a crucial catch. And there's the arm strength. We talk about Savage, you know, accuracy is more important to me, but sometimes you got to throw the fastball, and he fit that beautifully in between two defenders with arm strength.
Yeah, you got to have at least 2 pitches, right? Savage in a crowd, and he's brought down. On the first sack of the night, Danny Shelton, the one-time Cleveland Brown first-round draft pick, got him.
So they talk about, Fred, you talk about, okay, it's a short drop, right? So he's got to get rid of the ball. See, that's just a 1 step, so that's a 5 drop. And once you pump the ball twice, you are done. So on the stat sheet, it'll say, okay, offensive line gave up a sack right there. No, that's on the quarterback. He's got to get rid of the football quicker. to avoid that.
2nd and 14. Sometimes it's a coverage sack too, right?
You got it. That's quarterback sack there.
Ball given off inside to the rookie Ty Johnson out of Maryland. Flag is down. They have a hold as Johnson got near the 46-yard line as J.C. Jackson was able to get to it. Now let's see what the flag is about. And there's also a player down.
Holding. Offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
We're going to get Kenny Wiggins here, Fred, and as you can see right there,
Jermaine Kearse is the Lion who's down.
and the guy that's had a really strong camp.
We'll be back and check on Jermaine upon a return here to Ford Field. We're in the first quarter. Well, literally, Jermaine Kearse has just gotten back to his feet. A lower left leg injury. Won't speculate. But he was rolled upon by Terrence Brooks on that prior play. Kearse signed in the offseason in his 8th year. Out of the University of Washington. Spent some time with Darrell Bevell with the Seattle Seahawks. And as you mentioned, Chris, has had his moments in this training camp.
Yeah.
I know those thoughts that go through the minds of football coaches are not welcomed here whatsoever. Is you just hate to. I mean, as you know, these plays can happen anytime, anywhere.
So, you know, it happens on both sides. I mean, we saw some concern with the Patriot players, and nobody wants to see anybody get hurt at this point of the season. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt at any point, but for a preseason game now, let's talk about this for Jermaine Kearse. I mean, it looks significant. The problem, and this is something that you cannot clean up. We try to clean up this game in the NFL.
Right.
But when you're stock blocking or blocking somebody downfield, we see this with offensive linemen. You do not have a chance to protect yourself from contact coming from behind. It appeared that the significant part of the injury occurred when he got hit from behind and did not see, therefore did not have a chance to protect himself.
So 2nd down and 24 yards because of that prior penalty. From the shotgun. Savage with time. Throws a dart. Caught and dropped that time by Andy Jones.
So if you're fighting for a job, Fred, and Andy Jones is fighting for a job,
no doubt.
make catch.
You got
to make catch right there. That ball's low, but as an NFL wide receiver, you get 2 hands on it. You got to make that catch. And Tom Savage right now is throwing darts. I mean, that's a catch that one has to make, especially if you're battling for that 5th or 6th wide receiver position, depending on how many Matt and Bob want to keep.
And Andy will be the first to tell you he knows it. Zach Zenner checks in now as a lone setback on 3rd down and long. Savage with running room. Not enough for a 1st down. Gets near midfield. And the Lions will have to punt it. But I would say wide receiver and the safety position are the two where we're going to see the most ferocious battles in terms of numbers to make spots in this ball club.
Now that, and along with defensive line, I mean, you probably have 6 guys, maybe 7 set on that defensive line. So I'm excited to see which guys will step up and take advantage of the opportunity.
So Ryan Santoso will kick it. Remember, he was with the Lions in training camp a year ago. Excuse me, Sam Martin. And Santoso will do some place kicking tonight. Braxton Berrios fields it, and he's 11. Gets a couple of yards, and that is about it. Center there, helping on the tackle. We'll be back. Patriot football upon our return. So the Lions defense being tested here for the first time tonight in the preseason opener. Quarterback, a familiar face, the ex-Spartan Brian Hoyer. A backup to Tom Brady for the 2nd time in his career. Goes to work at the 19. And a 2-back set. Ball given off to Brandon Bolden. He is met head on. Heard the crunching of the shoulder pads that time.
Tavon Wilson, the guy fighting for a job. You mentioned the battle at safety, and Tavon Wilson is a guy that's reliable and dependable. I love the fact that you get safeties that can play up there in the box. They're much like a linebacker. And Tavon had a chance to see Jelani Tavai. Did a good job on his first play. I had the ISO on him, Fred. Went up there, met the ISO, knocked the guy back, got off the block.
You second-round Lions picks always look out for each other. Starting lineups brought to you by Hungry Howie's on the Patriots side and the Lions side defensively. Quick swing pass to Bolden. Breaks one tackle. They have juggled the football. Gets out to about the 30-yard line. And it appears to be a first down.
Yeah, Jamal Agnew had a chance to make a play. And Jamal's status is not questioned on his football team because of his outstanding return ability. Does a good job of positioning, but you have to hold that wrap. We always talk about it. He does a good job of trying to wrap up, but you got to hold and squeeze. Make sure you're finished to play. Good. Put the hand on the ground drill.
Ball getting off to Bolden again. Breaks to the outside. Gets a block, but there's a flag down. It's across the 40-yard line, but let's see if it comes back as Darius Slay was there to make the tackle. Bolden was with Miami last year and was also cut by these Patriots.
During the run, holding, offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
All right, we get to holding, but I want you to take a look at Jelani Tavai right here. And the one thing he has to learn, and I've been watching him a little bit, is he's got to learn to play with his hands a little bit more. Now he's going to come in here. You better be low man on this right here. You better be low man or you're going to get knocked back right there. See, his pad level is too high, so he gets driven and turned. Now, as he gets more experience, he's got to understand that you better be the low man against NFL offensive linemen. You're not going up against San Jose State offensive linemen. You're going up against NFL guys. Use your strength and your leverage by staying low, using your hands like you did that play. That was beautiful, that play. That was well done.
Those San Jose State University Spartans can tweet you directly,
yeah,
I guess?
That's fine. Everybody else does. Now, here's what I'm talking about. See, now he's going to have pad level where he's lower than the offensive lineman. You see him use his hands, and he's able to disengage. So as linebackers, they used to teach guys, throw a form on there, but you get a big offensive lineman, they just engulf you. So if you use your hands, create separation, you're able to shed blocks. That was a much better job, and that's a good sign for Lions fans.
Be careful. I didn't wear a helmet today.
That's all right.
Arms are flying, folks. Hoyer throws underneath. Cut far side. Wrapped up quickly by Justin Coleman.
Well, he's a steady backup, though, isn't he, Hoyer? Like you said, ex-Spartan, ex-Patriot, ex-Bear, ex-49er, Texan.
And with Cleveland, that's his hometown.
Yeah.
He was a starter for the Browns, and they didn't have a lot of success there, but it wasn't of his doing.
Yeah, he got his shot in San Francisco. It didn't work out, but I'm telling you what, if you want a guy that is in a backup role, there's not many better than Hoyer.
3rd and 5. Hoyer throws. Should have been caught. Agnew there defending. As Jacoby Myers, who's had a very good training camp for them, wishes he had that one back.
Ball just slightly behind now. I think it's going to bounce off of his shoulder pads. Let's see if Agnew gets... Oh, Agnew gets that left hand in there. That's well done by Agnew. A nice bounce back play. Remember, you got a guy that's a tremendous athlete, and you could never have enough corners or cover guys in this league. They're valuable commodities.
So Agnew back now to return this punt of Jake Bailey, their rookie, who was drafted. Ball fielded. Fair catch around the 20-yard line. So Agnew, who was a starter as a safety against the Lions when they last faced these guys. Back in a moment. Well, the Lions, with a little more than 8 minutes to play in this opening quarter with their second possession. Again, Tom Savage, the backup quarterback, at the controls here. Ty Johnson, the rookie running back out of Maryland, 6th-round pick. Play action. Savage on the run. Throws open. Caught. Far side. So the tight ends, we will certainly see them in earnest this season. Jesse James, the free agent acquisition from Pittsburgh, hauls in that pass. Let's go down to Torrey Petrie.
Thanks, Fred. A big topic for this game was how Matt Patricia would operate with his lower leg injury that he has. You can see he is actually operating it from high atop a Gatorade container. He's been driving around practice on an ATV this week. He's had a better vantage point from there. He's been able to zoom in and out of huddles. But today for the game, what has actually worked has been standing atop a couple of mats, on top of a Gatorade container so that he is able to communicate with the guys on his sideline. He really wanted to be able to be on the sideline and not up in the box. Fred?
Yeah, he's a trooper. Had Achilles surgery, so as my old basketball buddy Greg Kelser can attest, he had 2 of those surgeries. It's a long, tedious road, but Coach Patricia is a gamer. Again, play action. And snowed under is savaged by Jamie Collins, returning to the Patriots after a stint with the Cleveland Browns.
So one thing offensive tackles fear most is speed. And you see Coach Patricia said, yes, Chris, thank you for telling. Right here, Jamie Collins just beats
Terrell Crosby.
Crosby with speed off the edge. Crosby was late. He turned his shoulders, gave Collins the short corner, and it's just a race to the quarterback. Jamie Collins is a nice addition and a perfect fit for the Bill Belichick defense. It's a good pickup for him.
Of course, they lost Trey Flyers to the Lions, so they had to fill those shoes from a pass rushing perspective. And 2 in a row. Another sack, Juwan Bentley, a normal starter for them. Purdue Boilermakers.
Juwan Bentley was a tackling machine at Purdue, and he's proved to be an effective blitzer, a lot like Jared Davis. And watch number 51, Bentley coming right up the middle, and he splits the double team, and there's a miscommunication between the offensive tackles right there, and Bentley's able to close and finish. Wiggins got to take that inside and not give up that gap. But they ran a nice little stunt. There was a miscommunication between the guard and tackle, which resulted in a sack for Bentley and the Patriots.
You saw Savage hobbling a bit as he got up, then trotted off the field, so he appears to be okay, although being attended to. But he was not happy at all as he slammed his helmet down after successive sacks. Braxton Berrios to retrieve his punt with Martin near the 40-yard line. Tightrope walks the sideline. Let's see where they mark him out. Past midfield. So pretty good field position for the Super Bowl champs. Backing up.
It's time to figure it out between these 2 guys, Donald and Colomatungi. You see Jeff Davidson right there, how to handle stunts. And that's something that does take some progress. And here was the first sack that you saw. That's on the quarterback right there. This one was just a speed sack by Jamie Collins. And here's where they got in trouble with the stunt, where Bentley was able to split the double team.
At the Lions 47, play action for Hoyer. Open man across the middle as one of their numerous tight ends are battling for jobs in the place of Gronkowski. Matt McCaustin the catch.
Well, this is right here versus cover 2. You see number 44, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who's had an outstanding camp, sucked up by play action. And his responsibility, you have 2 guys deep right here. His responsibility is deep middle. He doesn't get to deep middle, and Brian Hoyer will exploit that weakness in coverage every single time.
24-yard gain. That run is snuffed out.
I talked to Al Golden, the linebacker coach, and Jalen Reeves-Maybin's had an outstanding camp.
Very active.
And so on first down, you're most vulnerable to play action. So if I were to talk to Jalen right now, and he'd come over to sidelines, how do you help me on that one, Chris? Well, you can hear play action. Like if it's a play action pass, don't go for the fake. You can hear it because what's in the pass, it sounds like a pillow fight out there with the offensive lineman. If it's a run, when you got 8,000 pounds of man on run, they grunt and groan so you can hear it and use your ears to be able to defend and recognize play action pass.
That's a lot of poundage, boy. Here comes Hoyer. Batted down. Looked like Darius Kilgo got a hand on it.
Nice job by Kilgo recognizing that I'm not getting to the quarterback. So the next best thing that a defensive lineman can do is recognize and use his eyes and get in the throwing lane. Block shot deep in the queue. There you go, Fred.
For those Ohio users who wish they were on the broadcast.
That's my shout out to Austin Carr.
Exactly.
My guy.
A legend from Notre Dame. Kilgo 6'3" out of Maryland. Trying to make this ball club as a free agent. As a 6th-round draft pick in 2015. Hoyer. Looks left side. It is caught. Held on to N'Keal Harry. Well, this week alone, he has worn 3 different number jerseys. 50 in practice, then 10, and now 8.
So that's a strength route right there. And that's an outstanding backup quarterback thrown away from the defender. N'Keal Harry at 6'4", 225 pounds. And, you know, I think they envision, like when the Vikings had Cordero Patterson and the Patriots had Cordero Patterson, he's that type of player.
Another running play that gets nothing as Miles Killebrew there. He, too, has had a very good camp. Remember, switched to linebacker a year ago from safety. Did not play a down at all on defense, just special teams, but he's opened some eyes.
Yeah, that's speed, you know, so you sacrifice size that Miles doesn't have for speed and instincts, which he does have, and you know that he's a thumper when he gets there.
Killebrew 6'2", 220. Brandon Bolden now. The lone setback on 2nd down and 12 for the former Spartan. Hoyer from the shotgun. Looking to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, New England.
Well, it should have been a hold, too. That was a defensive hold.
Maurice Harris hauled it in for the 6.
And strength of Maurice Harris to break through the hold on a strike thrown by Hoyer. The coverage isn't that bad, but you don't need to hold. He's on the outside. And there was the hold and grab right there, but it's a beautiful throw by Harris. You see the hold and grab of the shirt?
Amani Oruwariye, the rookie from Penn State, defending.
And that's fine. I mean, he'll learn from that and get coverage and understand that.
And the point after is good from one of the all-time greats, Stephen Gostkowski. 6-play drive, 47 yards for the New England Patriots touchdown. Harris, a veteran in his 4th season.
Yeah, you can see right here, there's a little bit of hold. And Harris is able to fight it off. And you look over Oruwariye and his size. I mean, that's the trend in the NFL, right? Big corners. And Bob Quinn signed with Sean Melvin at 6'2". Draft this kid at 6'2". The coverage wasn't bad. It's just that playing corner is so difficult, making that transition from college to the NFL. Coverage wasn't bad. He's just got to be able to trust his instincts and trust his technique a little bit more under pressure. And that's what I was talking about, Fred, about how's the rookie going to respond right now. And the other thing to check with him is his mental, right? Is he going to be bummed out? You got to have a short memory as a corner or come back and start making plays like we saw Agnew do.
Monty had 3 interceptions for Penn State a year ago. As Harris able to pull in that dart. Scoring drive is brought to you by Ford. Brandon Powell deep in the kick return will down it. And the Lions will start this possession at their own 20-yard line.
Nick Fales coming out.
So we'll try to get word on Tom Savage whether he's okay physically, but Fales signed in the offseason as well.
David Fales, excuse me. Yep.
Gets his chance here. He's one of those San Jose State Spartans.
Yeah, there you go.
So see, it comes back to you.
There you go.
You got to be careful. Pick another school.
I'll be all right.
Zach Center, the lone setback. From the 25.
How about Zach Zenner, Fred?
Tough boy.
Yeah, you know, and it's like
he's an offensive version of you.
First of all, he's Lazarus. They keep trying to kill him off. He keeps rising. He keeps rising. I mean, last year, right? Injury settlement.
Yep.
He got beat out, and he came back and really made the most of his opportunity. It's hard not to root for the guy like that, but Zach Zenner is reliable. He can block. He's going to be tough in short yardage, but you bring in C.J. Anderson, and you also draft Ty Johnson out of Maryland. I don't know if Zach's that guy, but I know what, he won't quit, and he always seems to make the team some way, somehow. That's what I'm talking about, blocking right there.
Tails up top, broken up. As the secondary I talked about is really deep. That's J.C. Jackson, the Maryland Terrapin.
I just talked about blocking, right? I want you to watch right here. There's Zach Zenner right there. There's a blitzing linebacker. He's able to get enough and getting away in enough contact to allow David Fales to make the throw at least to get it off. That's an important part of playing running back in this league. You better be able to blitz protect or you won't get on the field.
Andy Jones, as you saw, was the intended receiver. 3rd and 6 now. Lions are 1 of 3 on 3rd down so far. With Savage at the controls. Fails. Plenty of time.
Late.
Settles for the safety valve, and that's Powell, but short of the 1st down.
It's too late. He had Powell earlier. Everything was covered downfield, and that's just getting used to this new offense, and it'll be interesting to see when Matt Stafford plays how he responds to Darrell Bevell's offense. But right there, fails was just a tad late, which allowed the defensive back to close enough in time to be able to make the open field tackle to prevent the first down. Just a tad late on his read.
So just a gain of 3 there. As we're under 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. We'll be in Houston next week after some shared practices between the Lions and Texans, as Bill O'Brien and Matt Patricia, buddies from their days together with the Patriots, will share the same field. Flag is down. As Berrios on the punt return. Now let's see what the penalty is about.
Berrios has a little juice, huh?
He does. And many times, you know, special teams will be a make or breaker for guys on the bubble.
That and salary.
Yeah, too.
That's, you know, that's the way it is. You know, if you got a veteran and he costs you this much, and you got a rookie and he costs you this much, ties go to the rookie.
Funny you never said that when
if they're even. If they're even.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the return team. Holding. Number 29, that penalty's declined. Holding, number 35, penalty will be enforced for the spot of the foul. And we're going to keep the ball first down.
35 saying, why'd you call mine? Yeah, right. 29, he gets a free pass.
It's funny you never mentioned salary when I interviewed you every Wednesday during the football season. You kind of looked over that little element.
Because I didn't make anything.
Was that what it was?
Relatively speaking, of course.
Right.
Nothing like a TV guy at Channel 2.
Oh, yeah.
You and Dan Miller run it all in.
Big expense accounts.
And producers and directors on preseason games. They make all the cash.
Can't forget about them. All given off inside to Bolden again, who's had the lion's share of their carries, if you will.
You know, the interesting thing with preseason, you know, guys get so desperate and they want to do so well oftentimes throughout preseason games. And we'll note this as we go through our preseason. You'll see a lot of those holding calls, especially on special teams, because of desperation to make the team and get your job done.
That's a great point. Over exuberant. Hoyer again, looking left side. And it's caught again by rookie N'Keal Harry, still on his feet. Did he step out of bounds?
I mean, he was taken 32nd overall from Arizona State. And the element that he brings, Agnew has good coverage, right? But, you know, his size. I mean, when you throw that ball up to win the jump ball, he's going to get it. He goes up and competes for the football. And, you know, one thing we haven't had a chance to witness yet is N'Keal Harry. What he's best at doing is run after catch.
Yes, the big body. Herm Edwards, his coach at Arizona State, who knows a little bit about NFL football, compared him to a young Des Bryant.
I think he's bigger than Des.
Yeah, he's put together, I don't want to say tight end size, but close, 6'4", 225 as he hobbles off. But they have high hopes. Bill Belichick had never drafted a wide receiver in the first round until they plucked Harry off the board. Belichick in his 20th year, number 3 all-time in victories for NFL head coaches with 292. Is he the greatest ever?
Yeah, I mean, record-wise, yeah. And by the way, maybe Brady's making a power move and saying, hey, we're drafting a wide receiver this year, getting N'Keal Harris. But one thing about it, too, the other thing I love, he didn't pull himself out of the game. Right? He got a little nick, a little hobble. He stayed in.
And that'll be the end of the opening quarter here. In game 1 of the preseason here at Ford Field. Glad you're with us. As the Lions trail 7-0. Good to see Coach Patricia banged up but on that sideline. Second quarter coming up on the Lions Football Network. Tom Brady, a spectator here tonight. Interesting, Chris, in practice the other day, the team buses left. And this is day by day. He had done this in Allen Park. He was the only Patriot left, and he was working in the indoor facility with stretching exercises, working on his footwork while everybody was gone back to the hotel.
Besides you, he's the only dude to get the older it gets, the younger he looks. I mean, I want his vitamins. Whatever the vitamins are, I want them.
Well, he's wrote a book about his workout regimen and his diet.
I get it.
And Tavon Wilson has bought it and read it. Something's working for him. He wants to play till he's 45. Ben Watson on that prior catch, by the way.
The hold. Thank you. Throw the flag. Thank you.
Brandon Bolden on the carry. Jamal Agnew bumped him out of bounds.
So that's Tavon Wilson, Fred, coming up and causing a hole because of penetration. When we talk about low man win, we're going to watch right here.
Multiple fouls by the offense on the play. 86 offense holding. That penalties decline. Personal foul, leg whip. Number 66 offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Leg whip is vicious. I mean, I've seen guys blow knees, break
Sure.
legs. And that's something that has to be eliminated from the game. And when we talk about player safety all the time, protect the quarterbacks, I'm with you, man. They're the money makers to protect them. But the interior guys, leg whips are vicious, and there's no place for it, especially in a preseason game. And I'm going to give the guy a break, say that's because of desperation to get his block to make the team.
So 1st and 25. Warrior still a quarterback. That's Bolden again. Getting plenty of opportunities. Gets out across the 45-yard line.
It's a really nice job of the New England Patriot offensive line sustaining blocks. When you're able, and a bad job by these guys not getting off blocks. Watch how the Patriots sustain blocks. There's double teams. Nobody's getting off blocks. They have Velcro on their jerseys. Stick them.
That's the only
No, you put Vaseline for a defensive guy in your jersey, or silicone spray. Get the Velcro off, get the silicone spray going.
Here comes Hoyer. Going underneath. Gets out past the original line of scrimmage to Jacoby Myers. Played his college football at North Carolina State.
Okay, Lions are playing a zone coverage. You see him back off on a snap. Good break on the football. One thing, do not let him outside. And he does a good job.
Divergent.
Yep, of keeping him back and forcing him inside, not letting him get outside an open field tackle. Third down, needed pressure.
3rd and 11.
Come on.
Need to get to about the 33-yard line. Crowd saying, come on, D. Hoyer with time, goes underneath. Short of the first down. As Bolden, the receiver, and Will Harris, another one of the Lions draftees out of Boston College.
Playing man coverage, right? And Will Harris is not known to be a man cover guy, but if you're going to play in Matt Patricia's defense, that's all he plays.
So 4th and 2. In a short field. At the 35. Hoyer.
Nice route.
Picks up the first down. Easy little pitch to Berrios.
Watch this move on Andrew Adams, number 24, who's had a nice camp, had 4 picks. This is called a read route, in and out. Berrios is going to work inside, then right back out. Just a well-done move, and Adams, that's tough coverage. Takes away the inside. Good read between Berrios and Adams.
Adams has had a couple of interceptions in training camp, one against the Patriots. Again, another carry for Bolden. Out of the SEC, a Mississippi Rebel. And another Lion down. It looks to be Darius Kilgo. We'll check on his condition when we come back. Darius Kilgo, one of the former Denver Broncos who's bounced around, being helped off. He's already short-handed, missing 5 defensive linemen tonight. Ball given off inside, and he surged to about the 15. That's Nick Brissett getting his first carry. Rookie out of LSU. Kevin Strong on the tackle for the Lions, a gain of 4. Opening 4 minutes of the second quarter. And the Patriots trying to tack on some more here. Strong has definitely been like his name, making his presence felt in training camp with some physical play. This tackle in the backfield. as Tavon Wilson had a chance to try to wrap up Bolden, but could not. Slowed him down a bit.
That's a missed opportunity for Tavon right here. He's the free guy. They're in a 46 front, bear front, whatever front when you call it, Buddy Ryan's front, where they have both the center and guards covered. So when you bring an all blitz, which they did, that means everybody's blitzing except the corners. You're going to have a free man. When you have that free shot, Tavon, make it count. There's not many of those come around, Fred.
Gain of 2 for the Patriots. Ball at the 16. Hoyer, quick drop, throws, and sandwich coverage, and threw that ball on a rope to Jacoby Myers near the 5-yard line.
So when the receiver gets this far out on his split, you know he's got to come inside. So has the defensive back. The one thing you do not want to give up, which Amani does, is he gives up that inside and he looks back at the quarterback, and just a little bit late on the help from Garrett Dooley, linebacker, number 58.
2 running backs set. Warrior gets off to go set. It's inside the 5. Muscles his way down to about the 3-yard line where Jamal Agnew wrapped him up.
Jamal Agnew is a valuable player to have. He can play outside, he can play inside. Will probably be the backup nickel. And of course they spent all that money this year bringing Justin Coleman in, 4 years, $36 million, 17-something guaranteed. Justin Coleman set the market for nickelbacks in the future. I mean, that's how important it is, especially in a Matt Patricia defense who plays about 80% nickel.
And you're not talking about the band nickelback.
No.
Real stuff. Hoyer looking in the end zone, caught, touchdown New England. Jacoby Myers hauled it in, and the Patriots with a 2-touchdown lead, a 3-yarder this time.
Yeah, he's working one-on-one on Miles Killebrew. Again, the thing you cannot give up, inside leverage or the inside route. Even in the NFL, from little league to big leagues, make him make the harder throw. Killebrew gets caught looking back at the quarterback in man coverage, giving up the inside, and it's too late to recover. Nice throw by Hoyer. Solid backup for Brady. Solid.
And Brady has liked what he has seen from Myers in training camp. Has been one of his favorite targets. Hoyer 12 of 14 on the drive. Or excuse me, for the first half so far. 12 of 14 for a couple of touchdowns. Green and white. The scoring drive is brought to you by Wallside Windows, as Brian Hoyer is dialed in here in this first half, getting a 3-yarder.
Pretty good mind trust there between Brady and Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, native of Canton, Ohio.
Place of football. Powell about 3 yards deep. Gets to the outside, breaks the tackle across the 20, across the 25-yard line, showing that speed. Christian Sam brought him down.
Again, Brandon Powell having a good preseason like he did last year. Jermaine Kearse, we don't know how long he's going to be out, but it seems significant. So unfortunately for players, when one guy goes down, it's bad news. Nobody likes to see it, but it provides opportunity for other players. And Brandon Powell showing his ability with the return. He's really good run after the catch guy. Guy we haven't seen yet and we will see is Tommy Lee Lewis from the New Orleans Saints. And
12 men on the field, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And I know Sean Payton loved him at New Orleans, so I'm excited to see Tommy Lee, what he can do. 5'7", 166. Guess what? He's not slow.
And guess what he's famous for?
What's that?
The catch that wasn't a catch because of the pass interference against the Rams in the playoff game that wasn't called. Yeah. And as a result, kind of helped lead to the new rule where coaches now in the final 2 minutes of each half and overtime can challenge a potential pass interference. Intercepted. And the Patriots take over once again. John Simon picked it off. He's a defensive lineman out of The Ohio State University.
Yeah, John is Urban Meyer, one of the toughest players ever. And we have a 3-step drop, right? That's a great athletic play by John Simon. Not just saying that because he's a Buckeye, it's just a great play. When you have a 3-step drop, the one thing you want to try to do is get linemen's hands on. Now, John's unaccounted for, gets in the throwing lane. The one thing you'd like to do is see those offensive linemen chop the knees of any oncoming pass rushers, because when you chop the knees, it triggers an automatic reflex by the defenders to get their hands down to protect themselves, so you have a clear throwing lane.
Simon in his 7th year in the NFL, trying to earn a spot with this ball club. Jarrett Stidham, their rookie draftee, as Simon gets the congrats. Simon says, our football.
Yeah, nice.
Did you like him in Columbus?
Yeah, and think, you know, John is converted himself, right? He's played with his hand in the ground. He's played defensive end. He converted to linebacker when he got to the NFL, and has really done a good job. Was a solid player for the Colts. The Pats pick him up. Excuse me. A lot of people say they remind him of Mike Vrabel. Head coach of the Titans, former Patriot, played defensive end in college, linebacker in the NFL.
As members of the Belichick tree, were sent nowhere to go. As Eric Lee was there defending. Speaking of that pass interference call that should have been made, we all remember this. It led to lawsuits. Yeah, and had it been called, New Orleans would have been able to get themselves in field goal position to win it in the NFC Championship game. Do you like the fact that the new rule exists now?
No, I don't, and then I'll tell you why. Once we see the new rule, and not for reasons that you think, and it's, to me, I experienced at our Fox meetings out in Los Angeles last week. I'll be happy to share that thought with you here in a second.
Here comes Stidham, the rookie. Runs out of time, showing some wheels now, gets to the outside. And picks up a first down in the process. So Stidham known more for his throwing ability. Went off and went running.
Well, they were in man coverage, so the defenders playing pass, backs are turned. Stidham recognized, tucked and go. But here's that review. And the thing that I don't like right here, clear and obvious evidence. And what I learned out in L.A., what's clear and obvious to one guy is not clear and obvious to the other guy. So I just think there's too much room for interpretation. So because clear and obvious is different to me and you.
So it'd be clear and not so obvious is what it should be, right? Ball given off to Brissett. Gets a couple of yards. Got another flag down. Jonathan Wynn there in the stop.
And I think, well, you know, coaches have to be careful, right? Because I don't think anybody wants to overturn it. But my point was making that we were watching as a group of announcers and analysts, we're watching the highlights of what's clear and obvious.
Personal foul, illegal crackback block, number 16, New England. 15-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That's Jacoby Myers. I watch the right side of your picture, and you'll detect the infraction.
Let's see right there. Yeah, see, you can't go low like that. That's a great call by the official. And again, we're talking about player safety. Back in the day, when I played, guys would do that all the time. That's on him. Yeah, and that's coachable. That's a bad mistake.
Easy to blow out an ACL. Still play action. Goes underneath. Caught by Lacoste. And he's brought down by Andrew Adams inside the 10.
So we had Al River on talk to us about that. Go back to that pass interference in a second. And Al is the head of officials right in New York, and a lot of times he'll make a play. And he asked what pulled the audience on one that he thought that a group of people pulled that was clear and obvious. And with our focus group, it was 50-50. It was on an offensive pass interference, but it was definitely 50-50. I think coaches save it for touchdowns, not just regular plays.
Eye of the beholder.
Good job, Tavon.
Brandon Bolden to carry, not much there.
Better job of making an open field tackle. Tavon Wilson shooting free through the gap. You know, they're asking him to play like a linebacker, but that's what you have to do when you have a nickel-based defense. Make no mistake, the Lions are a nickel-based defense. You see Tavon Wilson will come up here and fill right away, and he beat the block by the Patriots and Harris.
So third down now and 5. So they can get a first down. Jarrett Stidham in the shotgun, throws, touchdown.
Can't give up the inside.
Too easy that time. Mike Ford couldn't get there in time, and Myers has his second touchdown reception.
That's the same story, right? I mean, this is, and I don't know if he's expecting help. He shouldn't be expecting help. But when you're tight like that, you're lined up to come across the line of scrimmage, got beat with a juke. He's giving up the inside, and it's just pitch and catch. And Jarrett Stidham, that's a pass he'll remember for the rest of his life because that's his first touchdown pass, preseason albeit, in the NFL. But again, poor technique by the Lion pass defenders. Giving up the inside in any type of man-to-man coverage makes an easier throw from receiver to quarterback.
So they're going to go for 2 here and try to make it a 22-0 start. Stidham was a 64% passer at Auburn. Had a better junior year than his final season. Rolling out of Stidham, being chased by Lee, and runs out of time, has to throw it away.
You know why he had a better junior year? Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, that helps.
Yes, it does.
So, Cavaliers have to carry, or excuse me, the... I knew it was going to happen.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Deep in the queue. Fred
So the rookie, Jarrett Stidham, feeling good about his first NFL drive, albeit the preseason.
I'm just thinking what I would say if I were Stidham right now. I'd find Tom Brady and say, I'm coming for your job, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Watch out.
I'll see you in another 5 years.
Exactly.
Or maybe when Tom hits the big 5-0.
Of course, he's young enough to be his son, but who cares? Brandon Powell downing it in the end zone.
He looks older, though.
Hey, Detroit Lions season tickets are still available starting at just $417. You can see the hardworking team ready to take your calls right now. Learn how you can earn $25 per seat in stadium credit when you purchase season tickets during tonight's broadcast. Call 313-262-2222 to speak to a representative. That's 313-262-2222. Zach Zenner in the backfield. As David fails.
There you go.
The pitch behind Chris Lacey. But a good grab across the 35-yard line. Lacey made a couple of sparkling grabs against the Patriots earlier this week in the shared practices.
Right, here you see something planned, right, and working on something. This is a 4-minute offense. No huddle, hurry up, and it's something that you want to do under game conditions. A good call by Bevel and Patricia to work here.
Bales chased, had to throw it away to avoid the sack. As the pressure came quickly.
Right there, just a little bit late, and again, we're missed assignments up front. You see the guys point. You look at the offensive line. They're pointing. They're talking to each other. They're making calls. See that right there? Look at it. Pointing, talking. That communication is as important as it is in the back end of a secondary.
Bales hemmed in, swarmed under. He goes down again.
Yeah, that's Donald.
Derek Rivers on the tackle.
Donald's playing right tackle, right? That's Rick Wagner's spot. Donald's been a solid backup. What happens is he gets a little high, and I always talk about pad level, Fred. When you lose your pad level, right there, see Calhoun? He gets that pad level. His hands are quicker, and his hands are inside. You have no strength as an offensive lineman. So even though Calhoun didn't get the sack, he calls the sack. And that's what I talk about quarterback pressures, how they create mistakes. Just Donald needs to set a little bit firmer on his pass pro.
Bales third down and 33. The Lions really forced to keep it on the ground. And a flag goes down.
During the run, holding. Offense number 76. That penalties decline. Result of the play is 4th down.
So Ode Abushi, the guilty party there. In a battle for that left guard spot with Joe Dahl.
Well, here's the thing. He's in a big bound. I don't know if that's a hold right there. My hands are outside a little bit, but the Lions offensive line, to avoid holding, you got to get your hands inside. If your hands are outside the body, they're going to throw the flag every time.
Danny Wiggins has had most of his snaps at left guard during camp, but Dahl and Abushi will be heard from in that duel for that starting spot. Good coverage that time in the punt, but getting away was Braxton Berrios. making something out of nothing. In that Julian Edelman mold, Wes Welker, smallish wideout with the quick feet. Hey, Lions football is brought to you by Kroger, an official tailgate partner of the Detroit Lions. By Labatt Blue and Labatt Blue Lights. Always enjoy responsibly. And Lions fans, get verified tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Live only happens once. A little more than 2 minutes to play in this opening half. It's been all Patriots so far in a 20-0 lead. Here comes Stidham. Throws short. Caught by Maurice Harris, who had a touchdown reception earlier in the ball game to start the fireworks for the Patriots.
Okay, this is the time where your conditioning is tested as a pass rusher. They're going to hurry up 2 minute. You get you get fatigued easier when you're rushing the passer as opposed to blocking.
Here comes Bolden. Wrapped up that time by Adams. And got a Patriots who's down. Matt McCost, the tight end. Back to Ford Field after this timeout. Patriots averaging over 6 yards per play so far. Reflected on the scoreboard. 20-0. And again, the Lions playing without a ton of regulars here tonight. Especially on the defensive side of the football. With the 45, Stidham in that pocket. Now avoids trouble. Second time he's done a good job using his feet.
That's what you want to see from a young quarterback, Fred. So recognizing man coverage, and it's as simple as this. Take your throwing lane, turn it into a running lane. Exactly what Stidham do.
So it gets to the Lions 46-yard line. Stidham again. Lots of time. Throws over the top. Caught. Inside the 20-yard line by Jacoby Myers, who's having himself a night.
So, you know, the biggest difference tonight, right? We can see it, that the Patriots defensive line is creating pressure. The backup Lions defensive line is not creating any pressure.
26-yard gain. Stidham again. Stays in that pocket, throws underneath. Broken up that time. Chance to have it picked off, but Owarie, the rookie from Penn State.
Great coverage by Owarie. Keeping inside. Bad throw by Stidham. When you see that cornerback have leverage inside on the wide receiver, that's when you make that back shoulder throw that everybody talks about and give your receiver a chance. See how that ball's inside? He actually does a great job of preventing the interception. Stidham needs to throw that outside where his guy or no guy gets it.
So second down from the 20. Stidham feeling the pressure, throws off the fingertips of an intended receiver, Ryan Izzo. No relation, by the way. And I don't think he's from Iron Mountain either.
Well, first of all, we have two things here. We have an offensive pass interference that they didn't call, which if you wanted to throw the flag and get that rule in, because Izzo pushes off Maben, Reese Maben with that right hand, and better coverage by Jalen right there. But that would have been an instance where Matt Patricia, in a game, I believe would have thrown a red flag if he would have caught that for a touchdown, because he definitely pushed off. And that could be challenged. Offense and defense could be challenged.
That's right. Third down. Stidham throws underneath to Bolden, who lost the football. But he is downed. Also have a flag down as Reeves Maben there on the tackle. Got a hold, I believe.
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Third down.
Mental mistakes and physical mistakes. That time Hjalte Froholt from Denmark. The guilty party. He was a fourth-round draft pick this past spring. Played his high school football in the state of Ohio.
Of course.
What other state would he pick, right?
Oh, I know all the Detroit fans love that Ohio attack.
Too bad you're impartial.
Hey, I'm a Lion through and through.
I know you're.
I bleed blue.
Bolden, his 12th carry of the night. Scoots through, tries to get to the outside, does. Chased by Adams out of bounds with Tavon Wilson. So on a passing down, they decided to run it.
Well, I think the whole purpose there was to hopefully not get the first down, but run a play where you think you can better yourself for a shorter field goal executed perfectly by the Patriots.
So Gostkowski will check in his 14th year. Boy, with Adam Vinatieri and this guy, they've had a long run like the Lions have with Eddie Murray and Jason Hanson and Matt Prater. A lot of success booting the football.
Wow, missed it.
But he missed it after I built him up.
There you go. Playing that one off the rim, didn't he, Fred?
Yes, he did. And it's funny, both kickers, you know, practice a lot during training camp with the 9 feet goalposts in between. Yeah. Half the distance of what the 18.5 is. It just helps him hone in the accuracy.
Yeah, mechanics are good. Snap, hold. He's pushed it right.
Yep. Pushing right. I know all about that on the golf course. I own that shot. So 37 seconds left to go in this first half. Buffalo will be here in a couple of weeks, and we'll finish out the preseason in Cleveland in the Great Lakes Classic against the Browns. Browns playing Washington tonight. Fails. Chased again. And he goes again.
Same thing, right? Just pressures. Kill them. Their backups are playing better than our backups.
Rivers and Perry, they're on the sack. 6 sacks coughed up by the Lions front tonight.
And what they're doing is they're doing a great job of splitting double teams. And how you split double teams is you're able to turn your shoulders at a 90-degree angle, and you make yourself skinny to get through the 2 big guys. And the communication, I think, needs to improve, at least from the backups point of view, on that offensive line.
Well, as Jeff Davidson, the offensive line coach for the Lions, preaches to all his charges, they need to know all 5 spots so they're interchangeable.
6 sacks in the first half. Well, that's why Joe Dahl signed this thing.
6 too many. So stay tuned. We've reached the halfway mark of the preseason opener here at Ford Field. All Patriots so far, but a chance for the young guys to turn it around in the second half. Well, preseason really is not about schemes for either team. It's really about coaches evaluating talent, what guys can do, what they can't do. Right. So what do you think the message was from Matt Patricia at halftime?
We need to get our D-line in shape. Our offensive lineman needs to communicate better to pick up stunts. And quite frankly, boys, it's not good enough. And we're trying to think of, okay, well, what's the offensive play of the game? I don't have one. What's the defensive play of the game? Don't have one. Who's the player of the game? Don't have one. So what to look for in the second half? We get those 3 things filled. We'll be good.
That's why they play 4 quarters of football in the NFL. And at any level, for that matter. Upcoming schedule for the Lions in the regular season, really a daunting task to start off as they open up with the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. Then the Chargers come here, followed by a tough trip to Philadelphia, Kansas City here at Green Bay. So if the Lions can weather that early storm, then it is set up to do some damage. And you know, you can't overlook anything, obviously, in the early part of the schedule. Yeah. Figuring you'll be able to make up the ground at the end.
Well, I think they got to get a road game. So, you know, you got to get the Cardinals. You get Kyler Murray's first game. The interesting thing about that game, the thing that I'm going to watch, is like Matt Patricia is going to be able to either show successfully how you defend a quarterback like Kyler Murray, or they're not going to be able to stop him, because Kyler Murray is something that we haven't seen in a long time. People can compete him to like Russell Wilson. Well, he's not Russell Wilson. There's Jelani Tavai right there. He did some good things in the first half and some things to work on. But the thing about him, what Matt Patricia likes, is his versatility. And you know, a lot of people, like Kyle Van Noy, right? Kyle Van Noy was here in Detroit. Didn't get much, couldn't get comfortable. He gets under Matt Patricia, and he's basically an all-pro last year. I thought he played great. And so he can bring that versatility.
And Kyle Van Noy said earlier this week he owes a lot to Matt Patricia, Matty P as he calls him, running that defense in New England, winning 3 Super Bowl rings, and Van Noy has become a really integral part of their linebacking core. So we'll start the second half with the Lions kicking off here.
Right? That's a testament to what Matt can do for players, and they'll figure it out.
Ryan Santoso, 6'5" kicker. He's a big one. He was in training camp with the Lions a year ago. And he shows that big leg, booming it past the boundary. And so it'll be New England football to start this third quarter. Let's go to Tori Petrie, who didn't get a chance to chat with Coach Patricia on the way out to start the second half. Tori?
Thanks, Fred. Coach, your team has given up 3 touchdowns in the first half. What do you feel like needs to be better in the second half?
Well, I mean, obviously everything right now. We got a lot of bad football out there. Penalties is the #1 thing right now. I mean, we had a couple good plays, got the ball moved. Penalties knocked us out of, a good drive. Same thing, turnovers. We can't have them. And, we just got to stay on track. We got to go do better. We got to do the fundamentals better. We got to tackle better. A lot of opportunities that we missed because we didn't have good tackling out there in the field. And we got to go compete. Bottom line is we got to go play better, and we got to have a better second half.
You talk about how the preseason is all about individual player evaluation, situational football. What good things can you take from this game so far in those aspects?
Well, I think we'll evaluate all that afterwards. Right now as a team, we just got to go play better. We got to go out and do the basics, the fundamentals, and we got to play smarter, and that's just what we got to do.
You've been posted up on the sideline on top of that Gatorade barricade. How's that setup working out for you?
Yeah, a little frustrating, but we're just fighting through it.
Best of luck in the second half, Coach.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks.
What's probably the most frustrating thing for him in the penalties, and the other thing is, he likes to get there and draw. Get on the board, grease board, show him what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and make those adjustments. And that's difficult for him to be able to do that from the perch.
5-yard gain there. You see Matt kind of grounded there with that recovery from the Achilles surgery. But he spoke of the penalty situation. Lions had 6 of the 7 flags against them in that first half.
Isn't that something, though? Even like New England, right? Disciplined football. And I was talking to a few scouts around the league. I said, what makes New England so good? There's not a lot of stars. Not a lot of stars on their defense. One thing was told me, they don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves. So it's interesting how it's set up from the star players down to the backup players, the discipline that they have from a football team, and it all comes from the top. Sure, Bill Belichick.
And traditionally, they start off slow. In fact, Belichick has said he doesn't really know much about his football team until the month of November, year to year. 11-yard gain there to Harris. Reese Harris on the reception. Stidham has shown well. The quarterback hands it off. Nothing going there. Miles Killebrew is there for the tackle.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. And look, Miles knows he's not going to start a linebacker for this team. What he can do is be a valuable backup. And the other thing, he's got versatility, right? He can always play linebacker. If they ever needed him in emergency at safety, he can do that. But right there, he's not going to get in a fight with an offensive lineman because he's going to lose that size. So he just avoids them, but has the quickness to close down and make a tackle.
So 2nd and 9 at the 41. Killebrew says wherever he's played, it's always been about team first. He says he'll do whatever the Lions ask him to do. Stidham in play action.
There's the pressure.
Banged into that time.
Eric Lee.
Yep, got to him first, along with Mitchell Lavin, who's had a very good camp.
Yeah, this is a nice job right here. So I guarantee you these guys were challenged at halftime. Eric Lee right there, P.J. Brown, number 92. P.J. Johnson, excuse me, were able to get pressure, and that's the first time that there was some harassment on the quarterback, led by Lee and P.J. Johnson.
And Lavin there too, so a couple of Arkansas Razorbacks, including Lee, putting on the pressure. Along with the rookie Johnson. Here comes Stidham. 3rd and 9. Looking downfield. Caught and dropped. Would have been 6. Maurice Harris. Stidham dropped it in perfectly, didn't he?
Yeah, this beautiful pass right here. The coverage is good by Mike Ford. See him work that left hand. Got away with the pass interference. Says watch him club with the right hand right here before the ball gets there. See, that's a PI.
Yeah, good call.
That's a PI, and they'll call that in season. I don't know why he didn't call that. He didn't see it. But that's a PI right there. Don't watch that closely.
But again, not challengeable in this case because it's not the final 2 minutes of the second half. So a ball down by Brandon Powell. Lions looking at a long field when we come back. So the Lions will have their poorest starting field position here from their own 6-yard line. Fails the quarterback. And Tom Savage played the first 2 series, then left the ball game. Still waiting for an update on his physical condition. Ball given off to Ty Johnson, the rookie. Gets some running room to the outside, showing some of that speed and a late hit. So we'll tack on some additional yardage here. Juwan Williams with that tackle.
So when you're a guy that averages 7.6 yards per carry in college football, the one thing that you know you have is speed, right? Ty Johnson brings speed to this running back rotation.
At the end of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 33. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
The other thing you look for in young running backs is patience, vision, and cutback. You see the jump cut right there?
Yep.
That's beautiful. Planted that right foot. And yeah, Williams has to be more aware of what he's doing on the field. You don't need to do that, okay? He's down. You didn't get the clean tackle. You don't need to throw him down and be a tough guy when the ball's out of bounds. But that's Ty Johnson. That's the one element that he's going to bring to this backfield.
32-yard gain, 17 on the carry, 15 on the penalty. As Johnson trying to muscle his way, gets to the 40-yard line. Not much else there. Let's go down to Torrey Petrie.
Well, with the Patriots in town, a lot of people have focused on the fact that Kyle Van Noy is back and how the Lions sent him to the Patriots, and he ended up being more successful there. But don't forget, he was successful there because New England knew what to do with him. And who was designing that defense? Well, it was Matt Patricia. Patricia told me that the more ownership Kyle Van Noy took, the more responsibility he gave him. Now translate that to the Lions. Look at a young player with potential like Jelani Tavai. He fits that big linebacker mold. It'll be the same philosophy when it comes to developing Tavai. They want to give him enough to be effective, but not too much to where he can't use his athleticism and instinct. So in other words, good coaching means hitting that sweet spot between the two, and that is their goal with Jelani Tavai.
Yeah, good stuff. Van Noy, of course, 3 years with the Lions, and dealt in 2017 for a 6th-round draft pick.
So, you know, the thing that Matt Patricia does well, and this, again, everything comes from the top with Belichick. With their linebackers, they love to identify guys that are versatile. So guys can play inside, outside, they can drop, they can pass rush, and they exploit what they do best. And certainly that's going to be, hopefully, Tavai, and certainly has been Kyle Van Noy, where they're able to get the most out of the players by identifying what they do well, then they grow from there.
Jonathan Duhart tried to haul it in, but could not secure it. As you get a look at Jelani Tavai. From a football family, mom played football, dad played football, 2 older brothers at the D1 level. One brother played for the Tennessee Titans, now has a couple of younger brothers, one currently at Hawaii, and another brother in high school who wants to go to USC. There's one sister.
She play?
I hope she likes football. Gunnar Olszewski fielding that punt and getting out near the 20-yard line. Patriots football. When we come back to Ford Field. Well, the Lions trailing 20-0 here, early 3rd quarter, as the Patriots will put it into play at their own 20. Brian Hoyer started for them. Did very well. Well, he missed a couple of pass attempts, and since then it has been Jarrett Stidham, the rookie 4th-round draft pick out of Auburn, at the controls. Stidham stays out there. Ball carrier inside Brissett, and knocked down there at about the 27-yard line. Well, Chris Spielman, of course, my partner, came to the Motor City in '88 out of Ohio State. A 2nd-round draft pick, and then you fast forward 31 years later, in comes Jelani Tavai with an almost identical 40-yard time.
So when I look at that graphic, not only was I small, I was slow. So I had that going for me, Fred.
So how did you make it? It must have been the neck roll.
Yeah, it was the neck roll, but the only thing that protected was me getting a rash. But I think, look, I watched him play on film, and I think it's something that I did also. You play a little bit faster than your time speed. The one thing he has is pretty good instincts. I survived on instincts. And I was talking to my brother today, who's the general manager of the Minnesota Vikings, and we're BSing, and I'm telling him I'm coming up here, and I told him about this graphic. And he said, yeah, you had horrible numbers. I said, hey, dude, you know, I get it. The only thing I did was make plays. So if that's bad, that's bad. You want a guy with great numbers to win the underwear Olympics, you're in.
You got to win the Olympics. You get a gold medal for that?
Yeah, there you go.
Stidham had to throw it away. I mean, Lomas Brown's a good example. He was not a great practice player, but when the lights came on.
So here's the thing with Lomas Brown. When I was a rookie, I said, how is that guy a #1 pick? And how is that guy considered a starting left tackle when I was watching practice? But when game time came on, it was like a different man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was just awesome. What, 20 years?
Yep.
Plus he got a ring. And now he looks like he runs marathons right now. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah, he's lost a bunch of weight.
That's what I'm getting TJ Lang to do for the team.
Who has joined us in the booth, by the way, the former Brother Rice Warrior. Ball bobbled and fielded at the 15-yard line. As Brandon Powell on the punt return. As the Lions will take over now. Almost 9.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. A Detroit Lions season ticket still available, starting at just $417 per seat. Call now to learn how you can earn $25 per seat in stadium credit when you purchase season tickets during tonight's broadcast. They're awaiting your calls. Call 313-262-2222 to speak to a representative right now. That's 313-262-2222. First down handoff. That'll be Zach Zenner with the carry. Actually added a little bit of strength, lowered his body fat in the offseason. He feels it just adds a little bit power at the point of attack. Gain of 3.
One thing, like I say, he's just a survivor, right? I mean, he's released, injury settlement, all that. Everybody's always looking to replace him. But when you look up and when the chips were down, and TJ will tell you in the red zone last year on the goal line when they needed tough yards, nobody was more reliable than number 34 in Zach Zenner.
Yeah, TJ, I know he earned your respect. We're going to get TJ's mic up going here. And the ball thrown off the fingertips of TJ Hawkinson, or was it Isaac Nada? Excuse me, it was Nada. Rookie draft pick from the University of Georgia, who was once upon a time recruited by Brady Hoke and the Wolverines. Wound up going to Georgia instead. But TJ, welcome to the booth, and I know you wanted to come back to your hometown to play professional football. It had to be a great dream come true moment for you.
Well, it was. I mean, I played 8 years in Green Bay and had a great chance to come back home, play in front of fans, family. Good move for the kids too, kind of settling them down in one spot.
Pass incomplete off the fingertips of Tom Kennedy. How's retirement treating you, first of all?
You know, it's been bittersweet. I think, you know, after 3-4 months of not training and not practicing at OTAs, you start to get a little bit itchy about getting back on the field and playing. But you know what, I found ways to stay busy at home, and you know, it's not until the games start. I could watch practice with no issues. It's not until the games actually start where you see them playing that you really start to miss it.
I'll bet you do. It's in your blood. Chris takes out his frustration here in the booth because he wants to still get out there and wrap him up.
If I had a neck and a hip, I'd be fine.
Punt returned out to the 40-yard line by Olszewski. Will return. New England football at the 40. New England football now with still a bunch of time left in this football game in the preseason openers. We mentioned TJ Lang joining us, and obviously you left some big shoes to fill, but Graham Glasgow trying to do that. I know he learned a lot from you. Are you watching, and will you watch through the preseason, especially the O-line?
Yeah, absolutely. I think really you look at both guard spots. They've got about 3 or 4 guys that are kind of been rotating in so far the first 3 quarters here now, trying to figure out which two's going to be the best. I think, you know, it'll play itself out. It's not going to be decided tonight. It's going to take maybe 3 or 4 weeks, but they'll find a guy.
I think one of the things that we looked at, there was a little bit of breakdown in communication on the offensive line. Maybe tell the folks at home how important it is in communication as far as pass protections, run blocking, who you got, who's got what. We saw 3 guys pointing, so What does that mean for an offensive line to communicate, to operate efficiently?
Yeah, you know what? That's just the start of every play. If you don't have all 5 guys on the same page and you get free runners, that's a quarterback's nightmare. So we saw, I think, 6 sacks there in the first half, which obviously isn't how you start the season. But you know what? It's most of them look communication errors to me, which tells you it's not a physical guy. It's not a guy getting beat physically. Those are mistakes that are usually easily corrected.
You know, we were talking about Jelani Tavai, and there's the offensive line right there.
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty for the slot of the foul. We play second down.
It's never a holding, right? But
No.
we're talking about Jelani Tavai. Yeah, all you guys did was hold.
Oh, the other team.
Ridiculous. And one thing I noticed, like one play, as a linebacker on offense, it's all about leverage, right? You're a big guy. I'm a shorter guy. One thing I have, at least an advantage to start the play, is leverage. And usually, low man wins. So we saw where he was high, he got knocked back. I don't want to get in a fight with you, right? The only shot I have is leverage. Andrew Donald. One thing he got beat on was, again, it's about pad level and being able to beat that defensive lineman's hands. And you got to get inside before his hands get inside.
Yeah, no doubt. And pass, run play, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're standing straight up and you let a guy get into your chest, the play's pretty much over. You pretty much hope for the quarterback or the running back to make something special happen on their own at that point.
Money Warrior, the rookie making the stop there, as with the 48-yard line. Almost 8 minutes gone here in this second half. Patriots are 5 of 10 on third down calls here tonight. Will set the lone running back. Izzo in motion. Will set the ball carrier. Turn the corner. Hurdles for a first down. As the Patriots continue to be precision-like on the offensive end.
Well, that's the second time this series, Red, they got on toss sweep. They got the edge. Why they get the edge? Because they create a short corner. By having man coverage, the receiver releases inside. There's a legal crackback block where you're staying high. You take away the outside defender by the man coverage. You crack back, you create the short corner. That's basically an easy call for the Patriots, and that's the second time in this series that they've run well and executed that play. It's a weakness on man coverage, which can be and was exploited.
Anthony Pittman, the Wayne Stater, made the tackle. Thrill for him to play for his hometown team. Here comes Stidham, open man, caught. Berrios getting to the 25-yard line. Andrew Adams brought him down.
It's the same problem we saw in the first half, right, Fred? And TJ, you know this because you're going to learn the back end. When you have any type of man coverage, you cannot give up the inside. There's a free run to the inside because you don't know if you have help inside. And when you give up the inside, it makes it for an easier, shorter throw from quarterback to receiver. You got to take away the inside and make the quarterback throw the hard throw and not give it up so easy. That's free run.
So Stidham, 7 of 12 throwing for 91 yards. Here comes Brissett, wrapped up quickly by a host of Lions.
Free run, I'm not talking about good wine either, Fred. I know you know what free run wine is. Look, TJ knows what free run wine is.
Do you believe him, TJ?
I'm familiar with that.
Now that you're in retirement, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Gatorade or water
He
anymore.
got back from Napa. Instead of going to training camp and doing 2 days, he's in Napa.
I'd like to see a little pass rush here from these guys. It's been quarterbacks having a lot of time back here.
You got to get these two guys getting some type of penetration. Yes, help the outside guys.
2nd and 11 after the loss of 1. Stidham throws it off the fingertips as Warrior was defending. Maurice Harris tried to haul it in. Second time that Omani has broken up a touchdown attempt.
Remember, he gave up a touchdown pass, right? So we talked about it in the first half. How will he respond? And he's responded nicely right here. Great job of extending. Actually, that's a drop pass, but still, he'll get credit for good coverage. Oh, he tipped the ball. That's beautiful. So when you're a young guy, especially a rookie, you're going to be tested at corner. How do you respond? He's responded well. Big guy, 6'2". That's the trend in the league, Fred, going bigger corners.
That doesn't hurt to have that size, does it? And the coverage ability.
Communication.
Here comes Stidham, quick drop. Throws in the slot. And he's caught that time by Dontrell Inman, his first catch. C.J. Moore brought him down.
It's the same thing, right? This time, inside, taken away. Inside, not taken away. So it's an easy pitch and catch. And you have to be able to understand when a wide receiver split is that far out, He's not running an out cut. He's got to come back in or run a go route or a takeoff route. Take away and pre-read or pre-read the snap by alignment of what routes the receiver can run.
A gain of 11. No set. Trying to find a hole. Nothing there.
What's the thing you miss most? I mean, we're talking a little bit off the air. You don't miss. Nobody misses practice. I mean, I even grew to hate practice. What do you miss?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you talk to, even talking to you, talking to Herman Moore, I mean, talking to some of these older guys, everybody says the relationship, you know, the bond that you have in the locker room and in the offensive line room, I think is unique, unlike any other position group on the football team. You miss just, you know, joking with those guys, man, and kind of keeping things light when things start getting a little bit hard. But those are friendships and bonds that, you know, on the offensive line, you're going to have those for life, man. Those are friends that are going to last forever.
Here comes Stidham on the quick toss. Inman tries to get into the end zone, and he does for the touchdown.
A lot of one-on-one coverage these guys are getting, and the pass rush is certainly not helping them.
So a 13-yard strike. All 4 touchdowns for New England have come through the air. 2 by Hoyer, 2 by Stidham.
Yeah, that's a good job by New England's offensive line. That was a 3-step drop. And so what you saw was the outside offensive lineman cut the knees of the outside pass rusher. By cutting the knees, you forced the hands to get down. You created a clear throwing lane for Stidham, who's playing quite well. I mean, he's done a great job tonight. Go over there and tell Tom Brady, hey, that's number 2 coming for your job. Watch out.
Think Tom is concerned, TJ?
20 years in, I don't think he gets too concerned about competition anymore.
I think Josh is excited with that.
Josh McDaniel, their offensive coordinator. Pass thrown a little bit behind, and then Oruwariye couldn't wrap him up. They're going to review this to make certain it was a touchdown. We'll get that confirmation, we presume, when we come back on the Lions Football Network. All right, they reviewed this. Dontrell Inman watches right knee down and watch where the ball is. There, did not break the plane, so inches shy. We'll set the running back here. And a touchdown. So able to punch it in. And the Patriots get their first rushing touchdown of the night. They're now 4 or 5 in the red zone. And will attempt the point after. So McDaniels has to be happy with the precision-like work of his offense here tonight.
That was a great second effort. I think you saw somebody come downhill. It looked like he wasn't going to have much there. The second effort, the push by the center, the guards there, got him in the end zone. Nice play for the offense.
So they'll go for 2 again. Failed the last time. Inman in motion. Stidham throws to Brissett, the running back, with a 2-point conversion.
You actually almost get away with a pass interference right here on the offense. Watch number 16, Harris, come in motion. He's going to seal off and throw a pick. Now, he does a good job of keeping his hands away. Watch a pick right there. 15 right there. See that? That's a pick right there. He knocks off Eric Lee on coverage, who has Brissett man-to-man. So that's a well-designed play. That's on the officials. They missed that one. You're not allowed to do that. If you're in coverage, you can't come out and knock off a defender. And plus, he used his hands and pushed off.
The scoring drive brought to you by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning. An 11-yard drive this time. Brissett has rushed for 49 yards overall, and that time hauled in the 2-pointer.
That's what Josh McDaniels right there saying, hey, I heard from the TV booth that was offensive interference because you used your hands, knocked Eric Lee off. You can run that play effectively, but you almost have to just throw like a basketball pick, Fred. I know you're familiar with that, where you don't use your hands, you're just getting away. That would be enough to slow him down.
Doesn't take much, does it?
Nope.
Powell too deep to run it out.
TJ, how fixable are the mistakes we're seeing from the Lions here tonight?
You know what I think, obviously, the first thing you look at is there's not a lot of pressure coming from the defense right now. I think you're seeing a very vanilla third down. There's no pressure. They're not blitzing. You look at New England's defense on third down. I mean, they've got 5-6 guys standing around the line of scrimmage trying to confuse you. I think that's causing a whole lot of the communication errors up front, which is why we've seen a whole lot of sacks so far. So that's the good part. If you know it's a communication error, you can fix that in the meeting room. If the guys just get them whooped one-on-one play after play, that's going to be something where you're thinking, okay, we might have to get somebody else in there. Haven't seen a whole lot of that.
Mark Thompson checks in off that play action fake. Vale's pass attempt for Travis Fulgham was well covered. The rookie out of Old Dominion has really good size. Remember, a 6th-round pick of the Lions back in April.
Yeah, by all means, you want to keep him healthy. Tom Savage is not even on the sidelines. That's a good release move by Fulgham, getting off the line of scrimmage, beating bump coverage, ball just slightly overthrown.
Chris, as a linebacker, how many times did a play action pass fool you when you were up 28-0?
I'm going to tell you the secret, though. The other thing, though, we'll just talk about play action. We talked about this in the first half. As a linebacker, the one tool that I used, Matt, you see your first PI challenge right here. The red flag was thrown for, I believe, to challenge and test that new PI rule. Before we get to this, TJ, the one thing that I did was I used to define play action by my ears. Because guys like you, when it was a run, there was always a loud pad smack and a grunt or a snort. On pass protection,
on the field that there was defensive pass interference on the play. The play is under review.
It was quiet and like a pillow fight.
Yep, just
so
all kind of hand-to-hand combat.
You can hear play action. Now, this is the new rule right here. We're going to see the release. First of all, there's nothing right there. Good job on both guys. You can get away with a hold. They're not going to call that the slow motion. Remember, that's extra slow. Now let's see if he makes contact for the, by the nature of the rule, you can call that pass interference, but it has to be clear and obvious, and I don't think they're going to overturn it. But again, it's got to be clear and obvious, and TJ's definition of clear and obvious, your definition of clear and obvious, my definition of clear and obvious could be totally different from everybody else's definition of clear and obvious, and his decision is the one where it has to be clear and obvious.
So, TJ, what do you consider clear and obvious?
You know what? I'm not the pass interference expert in this booth, but you know what? I don't know. I mean, it's the preseason game. You might as well test the new rule and see kind of which way they're going to lean with it, right? I mean, everybody's kind of up in arms about it and worried about how it's going to play out. That one could go either way. To me, it looked like the receiver almost lost track of the ball.
So there's his
why
answer.
He got turned around.
That's your answer, right?
If I'm looking at it, I leave it. I let it be.
It can go either way. Yeah. So that's the answer. But I agree with you. Why not challenge and test it and see where it stands? The only thing about this is it slows down the game. And I know that the NFL as a whole and as a league do not want to slow down their games.
I know Sean Payton, the Saints coach, said he doesn't think it'll slow down the game because coaches will.
Ruling on the field of no defensive pass interference stands. Detroit has charged their first timeout of the second half. 3rd down.
Go ahead, Fred.
Payton saying he would save some of his timeouts for those calls. So
I really don't think you're going to see it unless it's crucial, right? And you don't want to give up timeouts, especially at the end of the half and the game. You want to keep as much time as you can. And so I get testing. I think it'll be testing on in end zone or touchdown plays. A lot of offensive PIs can be challenged.
And Thompson, the running back, great size, 6'1", 240 out of Maryland. Vale dropping back, and sack number 7 by Chase Winovich.
Well, what's Chase Winovich, right? Michigan guy.
Yep.
Known for one thing, plays with great effort. Crosby, yeah, we're seeing beat Crosby right here.
That was just speed right up the outside. Looked like it was almost being set up for a.
And it goes again.
A screen, but that was too quick.
Yeah, the one thing you like, so when you see Chase Winovich, one thing you look for in pass rushers, can he lower his pad level and still not lose speed? You see right there, it was a simple pass rush move, dip and rip. And when you're able to get that pad level and keep your speed and run that tight hula hoop like defensive linemen do in practice, close the gap on the quarterback. And just pure speed. That's one thing I think offensive tackles fear more than anything. They'll take power. Speed's the one that they get nervous about.
Offense number 8. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
So another flag against the Honolulu Blue and Silver. But Winovich, 2-time All Big Ten in Ann Arbor. And again, they love his effort level.
And he just looks like that Patriot linebacker guy, right? That's what they want.
Versatility.
Good protection there.
Bales throwing along. Probably couldn't reel it in. Or Duhart, excuse me, Jonathan Duhart was there. Double covered.
That's what we're talking about, the difference in third downs, though. I mean, the lines are lining up, you know, just 4 guys, very vanilla. That play, you see the Patriots with 5 guys on the line, running some twists, running some stunts. Lions, O-line actually did a nice job of giving them a lot of time on that play.
Duhart actually played at Old Dominion with Travis Fulgham. They were roommates. But unlike Travis, Duhart trying to make this ball club as an undrafted free agent.
Yep, and you see that, then you'll see Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay go up and get that, win that jump ball.
Ryan Santoso with a punt, fielded by Oshesky. Got a flag down. Usually means against the return team. Jerome Cunningham to make the tackle for the Lions coverage unit. Not a fan of the field, so
That's the best tackle I've seen tonight.
Might have been the loudest in the stadium tonight, too.
That's a defensive play. Hey, producer Rob, mark that down as defensive play of the game right there.
So the Viscosti infraction.
During the return, holding receiving team number 19. 10-yard penalty. First down. New England keeps the ball.
There we go again, Fred, talking about guys desperate to make the team, right? So on these special teams, you see a lot of guys grab and hold, hoping they don't get caught.
Ryan Davis, the guilty party. So New England will start this possession at their own 41-yard line. Stidham stays in there at quarterback. Off the play action. Going near sideline.
Nice.
Well covered that time by Diversion, but there's going to be, I would imagine, a pass interference call there.
Yeah, never got his head around to play the ball.
So here's the thing. Here's what officials look for on this. So TJ makes the point about getting your head around. You don't have to turn around, but when your head doesn't turn around, that officials...
Pass interference. Defense number 30. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
Start looking for that early contact. And right there, see, you grab and hold. You don't have, now he did a good job of trying to save it at the end, but we always hear, sometimes we'll hear announcers say, well, he didn't get his hand around and that's pass interference. No, it's pass interference because he hit the guy before the ball got there, excuse me.
Ball given out to Brissett. So would both of you guys rather see a DB turn his head? I know in the red zone you don't like that, but would you rather see a defensive back turn his head or play it the way it was
I think you have to play the receiver's eyes. I think if you're in man coverage, you got to be careful turning your head, because once you turn your head, as we've seen many times tonight, you lose sight of your guy. He starts pulling away. If you turn your head too early, it's over. You're done.
You agree, TJ?
I do. I think, you know, there's got to be a certain time clock in your head where after maybe 2 or 3 seconds, you figure the ball's coming, or the rush has got to be there, the ball's coming. That play right there, he might have turned his head and actually might have got a pick. But like Chris says, you never know, man. It's a slippery slope. You got to be careful.
Stidham avoiding the sack. Throws underneath, and it is caught by Ryan Izzo. A 5-yard gain. Izzo played at Florida State.
Okay, this is actually good pass protection. Eric Lee, again, has applied pressure. That's the second time that he's done so in this game. But it's easy for the Patriot backup offensive lineman, like TJ said, against the Lions backup, with the Lions backup defensive line, because there's not a lot of stunts and not a lot of games going on.
Third down and 3. Easy pitch, wide open. Berrios gets the first down and more down to the 5.
The NFL game's about matchups, right? So you see Berrios, he's matched up on Eric Lee. They only bring rush 3. So you can't rush 3 and put Berrios on Eric Lee and expect to have success.
So 15 minutes left to play in this one. Patriots enjoying a lead of 4 touchdowns. Back in a moment. Our numbers look this way. Brought to you by Kroger. Minus 11 in the passing yardage department. 286 on the Patriots side as they're knocking on the door again. Here comes Stidham. Maintains his ground off the fingertips that time of the intended receiver, Damon Patterson.
Good job of Dave Urgent right there, playing tighter coverage. I think right here Stidham's a little bit late. He gets beat inside, but he has a nice recovery. Not looking back, loses his balance, looks back in right timing, and is able to get the right hand down there to pull the arms away. Got beat initially, but in order to play defensive back or corner in this league, you better have recovery speed, and that's exactly what he showed.
Stidham 11 of 18 throwing for 139. Izzo in motion. Pitch to Brissett, trying to turn the corner, wrapped up by Killebrew.
Yes, sir.
Miles showing that speed.
Yeah, you know, so Miles Killebrew, and you give the guy a lot of credit. It is very difficult to move from safety to play linebacker. And he's getting a natural feel for it, and he has enough speed, and he has really good instincts. And this time it's that same play that we saw, but you see the speed again, beating the crackback block inside and cutting the angle off. That was the same play that they've had success in the third quarter twice. That time Killebrew blew it up by penetration.
Third down call at the 5. Here comes Stidham from the gun. Throws underneath behind the intended receiver. But you know Miles Killebrew made his living in the special teams a year ago. One of those guys that really can make themselves invaluable by doing the little things, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I think anytime a coaching staff comes to you and asks you to switch positions, there might be a little bit of pride that you have where you feel like you're good at your first position, but you know what? He did it for the betterment of the team, and he's put on some weight. I tell you, from practicing against the guy, too, he's got speed, he's got a little bit of quickness. He'll come down and thump you once in a while, too.
Yeah, either pride or paranoia. One of the two is going to set it.
Well, that's true. If you want to keep getting paid.
Hey, TJ, you're going to play wide receiver. How do you feel about that?
You got it.
Sometimes you don't have a choice. Hey, TJ, thanks for joining us. Great to see you, and glad you're back home, that's for sure.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks for having me.
We'll
Good seeing you too, Chris.
Joined by President Rob Wood coming up. Well, this is our Jets scoring drive. Brought to you by Jets Pizza. Getting a field goal out of it. 7 plays, 54 yards as the Patriots have put 31 on the scoreboard now. As they'll kick off. Tom Kennedy back now, the ex-lacrosse standout. Going to make the jump to the NFL. Fields at about his 1-yard line. Keeps the feet moving. Another flag is down. So we'll see if that goes against the return unit. Sure, Coach Patricia will talk a lot this week.
You know, one of the things on special teams, like, we don't talk about special teams a lot. I played for the best special teams coach in the history of the NFL here by the name of Frank Gaines.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 59 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
I just want to make this quick point, and this is something as a coaching point that I learned and would pass on to anybody, is that when the return is run away from where the penalty occurs, that's a mental error. You don't commit something, a holding or a face mask or anything like that, when you're away from the side of the return. That's just a coaching point that I'm sure Matt Patricia will put into his staff meeting, and then we'll pass it on to the players.
So Rod Wood, get out there and make sure you don't make mistakes.
Yeah, I don't want to get yelled at by Coach
or Coach Spiel.
Yeah. Or anybody else for that matter.
Thanks for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks. Welcome back to town, Fred.
Yeah,
Thanks.
for sure. Thrilled to be here. And it was a great and enjoyable week for all of us preparing for this game with the Patriots here for the shared practices. How did it go in Allen Park?
I think it went great. I talked to one of the Patriot folks today, and they've done this a lot. And they said this was the single best joint practice week they've ever had.
No kidding.
So it worked out well. I think obviously the two coaches get along, and they kind of know how to practice, and same tempo and everything else worked out great. The facility, I think, showed very well this week, and so we had a good week of practice. And obviously, it's not showing up so well on the field tonight, but the we looked much better out there with the first string going against their first string.
Well, as the preseason games go, so do the shared practices evaluation, and that's really what it's about.
Absolutely. You know, this you're 90 guys in camp right now, and you got to get down to 53, and there's a lot of battles for those last number of spots, and you know, the practices are another opportunity to show what you can do against another opponent. We're going to do the same thing next week down in Houston.
3rd and 3. Pass broken up off the fingertips that time.
You know, the one thing that's new right here is a new turf, right, Rob? What do we got going on?
It's new field turf. The turf that we had was about 6 years old, and was starting to show the wear and tear last year. We did a couple things to try and get it through last season, but we decided it was time to put a whole new field in. It's all about, you know, player protection, first of all. You know, you got to have a field that's safe for all the players, and as it turned out, I think this one looks great too. It's very bright green and the Honolulu blue end zones. So we had the joint practice here last week. The players were raving about it, and I think it'll be a nice additional feature this year.
And obviously the technical elements of improving turf, maybe not obvious to the fans, but to the players, they can feel it, and just the small little differences can make big differences, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's it's new, so it's the newest technology. There's no seams anywhere in the field,
wow,
which makes a big difference, and obviously very important for the cushion on their bodies to get through a game and not have any injuries.
So you're saying
turf.
it's better than a Silver Dome turf?
Yes, my ping pong table. Silver Dome turf. You remember? It was a little thin piece of rug over concrete, basically.
You know, you got season tickets coming up,
Yep.
and you and I were talking before the game and how optimistic I was about this team. I know this team pretty well. I get to, obviously, less to do the preseason games, but I get to do a number of regular season games. And for me, and I said in the open on this, this is the most optimistic I've been about this football team, and it's because of the roster. And you're right, don't get caught up in this. This is a practice and evaluation period. But when you have Kerryon Johnson, you have a healthy Kenny Galladay, you have a healthy Marvin Jones. Matthew Stafford with a running game doesn't have to rely on his arm every single play. And plus the defensive additions that have been there. I think people should be excited about this team. And what do we have? If you are excited, come down the game. How do you get the season tickets?
Absolutely. Season tickets are still on sale. It's the best value to get to see the team. And I agree with your optimism. I think we're going to surprise some people this year. And right now we're flying a little under the radar screen, and that's a good place to be at the beginning of the season. But when we get the whole team out there and healthy, I think we're going to have a really good roster.
It's a really competitive division. I mean, I think it's the best in the football. You can make an argument for that.
I would agree, Ken. It's a really tough division, and you know, Chicago went worst to first last year, and you know, Minnesota obviously is great. Green Bay, it's quarterback, new coach. See how that works out. A little different for them this year, and then we want to be right there with them, competing at the end of the season.
That's Brissett, the ball carrier. And Chris knows as well as I do. In fact, he's been to more venues than I have in the NFL. But this building, I remember vividly when it was open in 2001, and not a bad seat here, and the improvements you made. It's such a show place. And I know Detroiters are proud of it, as you are.
Yeah, it's a great venue, and you know, there isn't really a bad seat in the house, as you said. It feels almost like an arena, but it's a football stadium.
I agree.
And it's shown really well. We did the upgrades a couple years ago, and everything's modern and the most current technology. It's a great place to enjoy a game, and when you get it, you know, full, it's as loud as any stadium in the NFL too, which makes it a great home field advantage.
Tom Brady could attest to that.
That's right.
With that the Sunday night game last season when the Lions really stuck at 2 of them, and this place was vibrating. So you know, it's just good to see what has happened downtown, obviously, and the resurgence of Detroit has been, you know, heartfelt enjoyment for all of us who have either left or come back, and it's just been great.
I think we can go back to the schedule a little bit. You know, the one thing I like, I mean, your fans are going to get to see the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You're going to see them early on. And you're going to get a good test to find out how good this football team is early. Not to mention Arizona, which has its own unique test with a very unique player in Kyler Murray.
Right. We have you know, the road game in Arizona open up with you know, rookie quarterback who's, you know, incredibly skilled. Going to run a little different offense that you see anywhere else in the NFL probably. And then we have the Chargers coming here, so that's an important game, first home game of the year. We want to have a great crowd in here. And then we have the Chiefs as our second home opponent. So a lot of great quarterback play early on in the season that we're going to see. And then you get into the division games. And, of course, Dallas is going to be here this year, which is always a great draw. And, you know, they have a really good team as well. So it's a good home schedule with good talent, star players, and come out and support the team and make this place the great home field advantage that it is.
And you talked about the Bears worst to first. I mean, that's got to be Exhibit A for any ball club that says, look, and we know NFL history, you can get there pretty quick. And with the additions that Chris talked about, there's got to be a lot of positive energy in the building.
Yeah, we're going to focus on getting better every day between now and the first game of the regular season. Then when the games, you know, start to really matter in the schedule, we'll get focused on winning and being competitive. And as what Chris said, and I agree, is one of the toughest divisions, if not the toughest division in the NFL. Yeah, I think you know, setting aside how tough it is, I think it's the best division just because the proximity of the cities, the similarities of the cities, you know, the history, the black and blue division, and the rivalries that go back, you know, 100 years in the case of the Bears and the Packers.
You know, what's been interesting for me to watch and watching Bob Quinn and basically transform the personality of this football team by the roster that he's building and the type of players that he and Matt are trying to put together and kind of convert into, and bringing in Darrell Bevel, of course, to convert the offense into something different, more balanced.
And I think, you know, you're dead on. And, you know, Bob, when we first, you know, met, talked about what kind of football team he wanted to build. You know, he laid out a plan, and he's been following it ever since day one. And I think that when, you know, Matt joined, you know, they had a complete alignment of how they saw, you know, players, how to play the game, the kind of guys that fit the system. That's some of the changes that were made last year to really bring in guys that really fit Matt's system. And then with Darrell, I think, you know, we have an offensive system now that's going to be, you know, ready to play every game with a different game plan based upon the opponent, just like, you know, Matt does on the defensive side. So it's going to be a great marriage, I think.
Well, you expect an offense, one that can run the football, right? Last year we had Kerryon Johnson become the first player since 2013 to get 100 yards rushing. Not a lot of folks know this, but Kerryon Johnson actually led the league in yards per carry amongst running back. The only guy that beat him was Josh Allen, the quarterback of Buffalo Bills, at 5.4 yards a line. And so when you can do that, that's, I think, going to help not only have Matthew Stafford play his football, best football, but possibly extend his career, because you're not saying, okay, Matt, drop back 55 times, go win the game for us.
Right. And we were just talking a couple days ago about, I think it was 2 years ago, Matt had the highest passer rating in the entire NFL on play action. Yeah. And that was without a running game. So if we can have a running game, you know, and then mix in the play action, you know, the new tight ends that we've added to the team, and, you know, don't, you know, forget about C.J. Anderson, who'll come in and get tough yards. So it's a very different skill mix than what we've had in the past. So, and I think that will allow the receivers to get downfield on play action passes.
I was looking at C.J. Anderson. Get the call. And I said this in our production meeting. I said that
illegal formation, offense. Number 5 was covering eligible receiver number 85. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
I don't know if people agree with me or not, but the Rams aren't in the Super Bowl without C.J. Anderson.
I agree.
And I think that what you're seeing is what they were hoping what LeGarrette Blount would bring, they're actually going to get from C.J. Anderson this year, because you don't want to. You got a young running back. You know, you don't want him to get 30 carries a game. You know, you also want to protect your investment.
Right. And I think it's good to have a kind of mixture of talent in the backfield too. Some, you know, more of a slasher and Kerryon, and a guy that can break tackles and get the extra yard, and C.J. And they're both pretty good receivers too. So you can't just count on the run when they're in. So
nice break up there by D. Virgin. Rod, thanks for joining us. We're all excited about what is going to transpire this season, and it'll be here before you know it.
I know. It goes quickly. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Rod. Thanks. Appreciate it. We'll be back with more in the 4th quarter in a moment. So David Fales brings him out here in the 4th quarter with just under 7 minutes to play in the preseason opener. Lions will be in Houston here on the Lions Television Network a week from Saturday, as Fales caved in again, as he has been met with repeated pressure up front. That's the 8th sack now by that New England defense. Defensively, the Lions have one thing to hang their hat on tonight against the run. Holding the Patriots to less than 4 yards a carry. Brought to you by Steinmark as you look at some of the better run-stopping plays for the Lions here tonight.
I thought Miles Killington played a heck of a game. And, you know, it's been impressive to notice the transition, which started late last year from the linebacker position where he didn't take a snap, I believe, during the regular season.
Correct.
To now, and just his instincts and being able to make plays, avoid blocks, not give up his gap integrity, and make plays through his responsibility. So that's the positive, I think. And I thought Tavon Wilson, again, playing safety, playing that extra guy in the box, played really well. So a lot of things to improve on and grow on, but those two guys I thought did a heck of a job tonight.
Yeah, it's not easy to move from safety to linebacker, but he's been able to do it. Miles Killebrew passed to Austin Traylor a moment ago. Tight end signed during training camp. So it's 3rd and 13 for Fales. Steps up looking for a receiver. And it's caught by Kennedy. Across midfield. Flag goes down. Gets inside New England territory. Another flag flies. Keon Crossan brought him down. As Fales threw a strike there. To Kennedy, who switched from lacrosse, as I mentioned, to football. And actually wound up being a standout on the football team after making that switch at Bryant University.
There's 2 fouls on the defense. Holding, number 29. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, face mask, number 35. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So the longest positive play for the Lions here tonight.
Yeah, he got 2 penalties too. He got the hold right there, showing good run after catch ability. Got away with the face mask, and that's something. Well, lacrosse players and football players, I wish I had lacrosse when I was growing up, but those are 2 sports that certainly in relationship with each other and would help a player.
Yep. Depends on a lot of quickness. Here comes Traylor again. Avoids 1 tackle. Gets inside the 15-yard line. So Austin Traylor with his second grab here on the drive. 16-yard gain.
It'll be interesting to see, talking with Matt Patricia when he talks after the game, an update on Savage, right? So he's not been out on this field, and then, okay, right away, Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, if something's really wrong, I don't know, I'm not speculating, but this is how general managers, head coaches think, okay, who do we got on the Rolodex?
They have to.
Who's next?
As Fales has played a lot longer than I'm sure he anticipated tonight. We'll give out to Thompson. Showing some of that strength, getting to about the 10-yard line.
Big back, huh? 6'1", 240.
Yeah, really fullback size for Thompson. Undrafted out of Florida. But 240 pounds, Mark Thompson.
You know, again, you think about it. You have Ty Johnson as like Kerryon Johnson. You have Mark Thompson that's kind of like a C.J. Anderson. So you see the trend going.
So motion penalty against the Lions here. The preliminary indication.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Against Terrell Crosby. Jumping the count.
You know, in watching this series, this is the first time the whole game that the Lions have crossed midfield.
You had to mention that.
So that's, well, I mean, I respect you too much not to tell you the truth. I mean,
here comes Fales. As the protection breaks down. And another sack. Chase Winovich. He said he was thrilled this week to be in Allen Park and hear some maize and blue faithful chant his name.
Yeah, it's good for Chase and to be able to do that. And again, like initially he's blocked. That's the second time that he's beaten Crosby off the edge, but that was just beating with effort, right? Coverage was good downfield, but he never stops and he never quits. And that's why Chase Winovich will be a good player in this league for a long time.
Yeah, got a great motor. Coach Harbaugh will echo those sentiments.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty. Makes third down.
So plenty to work on when the Lions get back to practice on Saturday in Allen Park. Winovich had 17 tackles for losses last season for U of M. Here comes Thompson trying to get the outside dub. One man to beat.
Nice.
Down about the 17-yard line, showing that power.
This is a good run right here. And, you know, when you're a bigger back, you're going to expect guys to come in and try to take your knees. Watch his ability right here on low tackles just to run through it in power, understanding guys are going to try to chop you down to leads. But good job of, you see guys do that in practice, Fred. They practice that drill, running backs for balance, putting that hand on the ground. Let's get on the board.
Ryan Santoso will try about a 37-yarder and puts it through. So the Lions get on the scoreboard with 2:17 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Off that Thompson run. We'll be back as the Golden Gopher puts it through. Left to play as the Patriots will get one more crack at it as Santoso will tee it up. And it'll be a touchback for Gunnar Olszewski. Hey, Lions football is brought to you by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Family is not just our name, it's the way we do business. By Labatt Blue and Labatt Blue Lights. Always enjoy responsibly. And by Powerhouse Solar. Own your power. Don't rent your power. That is not the fist of Chris Spielman.
No. Great Joe Louis, right?
Absolutely. The one and only. Stidham has carried the mail for most of this game. As the run game nets very little there.
That's interesting. They're putting tight ends in at running back.
Andrew Beck, the tight end, who's about fourth on his depth chart with the ball carrier there. 2-minute warning here in the fourth and final quarter. Well, Miles Killebrew certainly has accounted himself well in the eyes of the coaching staff and you fans. He's our player of the game, brought to you by Kroger with the 6 tackles, showing a lot of activity, Chris.
Yeah, and the thing about him, obviously, he shows instincts, right? There's that tackle for loss. But the other thing that Miles can do for this team, so by being lighter and a smaller linebacker and playing safety, he does have coverage skills. It's such a big part, and he's a bigger guy. Tight ends are such a big part of offense, right, in the NFL. Guys that can stretch the field. Miles Killebrew has the speed and size to be able to match up with tight ends if they have a certain package for him, which I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Patricia does.
Well, as we know, Matt Patricia's defense utilizes a ton of sub-packages, as we saw last year. So there will be opportunities for the likes of Miles Killebrew to be able to situationally make an impact. And it's got to do wonders for his confidence. As we mentioned, did not play a single play from scrimmage last year after accounting himself well on special teams.
Yeah, he's a valuable guy to have, and versatile. And again, that's the trademark of what Matt Patricia wants for players: versatility.
They'll down it again here as they'll run out the clock. Patriots have to be happy with how they played here tonight. Lions obviously have some work to do. Need to get some regulars back into the fray. Perhaps we'll see them in Houston, some of them. Our Lions offensive keys of the game brought to you by the Lee Steinberg Law Firm. Really the keys for the season.
Yeah.
As key guys that you talked about at the outset. Matthew Stafford with Kerryon Johnson and Kenny Galladay.
Right there.
Marvin Jones Jr.
I think with an improving defense, and Matt Patricia talked about this last week in the press conference in our meeting with Coach Patricia, you know, they're not concerned about how they played well at the end of last year. I think they've added pieces, right? You have depth with Mike Daniels. I think Jared Davis is only going to keep getting better and better. You trade for Trey Flowers. Devon Kennard played really well last year. Romeo Cord played really well last year. So when you have that type of depth, most of the guys that we watched play tonight are going to be maybe one or two or three guys that might be a valuable contributor. These guys are fighting for backup spots. The defensive line already has 6 or 7 guys that are on his team. All these guys playing tonight on the defensive line might be battling for one spot.
And that's why they play these preseason games, and stories will continue to tell in our broadcast here on the Lions television network, including next week in Houston. It'll be fun, I'm sure, for Coach Patricia to again meet up with Bill O'Brien. O'Brien was the offensive coordinator when Matt was the defensive coordinator, both under Bill Belichick.
And you know that Matt Patricia and Darrell Bevell faced each other in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
And so you go ahead, and he understands that Bevell's mindset fits what Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn want as far as philosophically. Bob, go find the players. Matt, go coach the players.
We saw the schedule coming up, ending in Cleveland with the Buffalo game sandwiched in between, and that'll do it here tonight at Ford Field in the opener. As Belichick and company, I'm certain, remembering what happened to them last September when Matthew Stafford and the crew dismantled Tom Brady in that one-sided victory. So Coach Patricia will hobble off and get back to the drawing board for the backups, as they'll take tomorrow off and then get back to Allen Park and the practice fields on Saturday. So that'll do it. Thanks, partner. It was great to see you.
Welcome back, Fred.
Absolutely. Feel like we never left. There's number 54 alongside Chris Spielman, one of my all-time favorites anyway, as a player and now as an analyst. Hope you enjoyed our broadcasts as the New England Patriots doing what they wanted tonight. And the Lions with plenty of teaching moments here tonight at Ford Field. Until next week in Houston, we'll say goodnight from Ford Field.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. For NFL news and highlights, go to NFL.com.